What's up guys, welcome to another video, and today we're just going to be talking about if it's time to move on. As you guys know, the crew has recently just come out, and that is probably the closest we have got to a Need for Speed Underground type game in years. I don't think we've ever had a game quite like this, and again, this is probably the closest we've had in years. And in my opinion, and in many others as well, it just didn't compete with Underground, Underground 2, Most Wanted 2005, Carbon, etc. Now, if this did, and this somehow offends you, that in my opinion it didn't, just click off the video. You know, what I'm going to say is all my opinion, and if, you know, for some reason you strongly disagree or feel like having an argument, please just click off, because I'm not in the mood for arguments. But yeah, in my opinion, and in many others' opinions, and even in, you know, in the review scores, like the review scores were nowhere near as good as the older Need for Speeds. I think a conclusive, you know, overall summary is that the crew is not as good as those older Need for Speeds. And is it just generally time for us to move on as gamers and kind of signify that the golden age of racing games has gone? You know, is it time just to kind of put down the towel and stop, you know, begging for this game? Is basically what the commentary is going to be about. So yeah, now I've kind of explained what the outline is, let's get straight into the video. So the answer to this is not, you know, straightforward. It's yes and no. You know, we should always be asking for what we want in a game. You know, like we should always be you know, airing our opinions. You know, saying we want this, saying we want that. You know, we want tuners, we want muscles, we want exotics, we want customization, we want a car list, a big car list. You know, we want all this. But at the same time, we kind of got to realise the current market that racing games are in. You know, like performance, customization, video games now, like especially in the racing scene, are very, very, you know, well, not unpopular, but they're not as popular as they used to be. Not a big market for that anymore. And I personally think, as gamers and as, you know, just car enthusiasts, we should probably stop begging. I think if the crew obviously was our last chance of getting a customization video game, and not because of the game itself. The game itself is great. I personally really enjoy it. But because of the big review scores, you know, like I see IGN and GameSpot giving this game like 5 and 6 out of 10s, and, you know, just kind of seeing the general reception. It's basically like Marmite. Some people love it, some people hate it. And I think generally we've had our last chance to, you know, get or have a chance of getting, you know, that experience back. I think generally now the whole system of customization video games and customizing your car to have a huge body kit and wings and stuff on it genuinely lasts on Need for Speed 2015 and Ghosts. Now, for some of you guys, that may seem just like kind of clinging on to hope that's not there anymore, or clinging on to something that maybe not there, you know, whatever. I genuinely think our last chance of getting an Underground 2 - Most Wanted 2005 a level customization game with a big car list and, you know, all that kind of thing lays on, you know, what Ghosts are doing right now in Gothenburg. That's just my opinion. You know, like the Crew is a great game, but it's by no means, you know, a customization. Like, you don't buy the Crew for customization, in my opinion anyway. You buy it for the open world and, you know, just for the sheer amount of things to do in the open world. Just for purely customization, like Underground 2 and Most Wanted, I purely 100% believe that whatever Ghosts do will determine what, you know, the series does in general. Not because, you know, it's Ghost, because it's Need for Speed. And Need for Speed has always been the pioneer of racing games, and it's about time they either take the series in a whole new direction or kill it off once and for all. Is how I see it. And I think that's how it's going to go. If Need for Speed 2015 goes bad, I honestly can't see customization video games ever, well, they'll be made, but they'll not ever be made to the extent that Underground and Underground 2 and, you know, Most Wanted were at. You know, it will never be to the extent that the Crew is at. This could be make or break for, you know, us as a arcade customization community in a way. I know the Crew 2 is in the works. So obviously it's not going to go away permanently, but, you know, that kind of build up for the customization video game may come to an end soon if Need for Speed 2015 really does flop. Most definitely, if Need for Speed 2015, you know, just completely ends, and that is the end of the series, and they cut off Need for Speed and, you know, whatnot, I think it's fair enough to say that we've had our fair share of racing games, and I think it's time to move on, you know, and kind of just forget about customization. I mean, we should always make clear that we want it in the game, and we should always strive to attempt to do our most to get it into the game. But if developers are simply just aren't listening, I think it might be time just to let go. The crew's done a great job with it, really has, but it's nowhere near the customization, nowhere near the expectations of other fans. And I think the main thing with customization is, as well as having lots of options, you know, for me, perf spec, race spec weren't really too big of a problem. Like, I'd rather just have one car model with a shit ton of bumpers and a shit ton of licensed, you know, rims and that kind of thing. As my phone goes off. Yeah, I think the main thing generally, for me, if in a game, what I would rather have is one car, you know, like one basic car model, no specs, no any of that type of thing, just one basic car model with 30 or 40 bumpers which are universal for every single car, licensed rims which I can change the size of, ride height, you know, a vinyl editor and a vinyl marketplace, you know, paint jobs, obviously, rim jobs, you know, like custom gauges, interiors, basically everything we had in Midnight Club 3, Dub Edition and Underground 2 into a game. I think that's what my perfect racing customization game would be, is having those elements in. I don't think we should just like kind of give up, like I said earlier on. I kind of worded that wrong. I don't think we should straight up give up, but I think it might be time to kind of just put it to the side, you know. I do think they're kind of making a comeback in a way, but in the same sense, I think that, you know, our golden age of racing games has come to an end, and I think the period we're going through now is kind of, you know, regenerating the racing game genre, you know, trying to make something new of it, trying to, you know, basically reinvigorate the series and kind of spark some life into it, you know. It's kind of regenning the series in a way, kind of similar to, you know, what happened with shooters like 5 or 6 years ago. It's kind of stale, and then COD 4 came along and kind of rebooted the whole genre. Hopefully Need for Speed 2015 will do that. I think the crew's done a pretty good job of that, but the only reason why I'm a bit wary of how the crew's going to permanently impact the racing game genre in the long term is because of the review scores. I think the review scores would say for themselves, really. You know, I think that's not going to pay homage to the actual game in the long term. I don't think it pays credit to the game in the long term either. I think the game is a lot better than the 5 and 6s that were given. Solid 8 or 7, you know. But overall, I would say overall for the future, I have pretty bright hopes. I hope that racing games do well, and I'm pretty sure that, you know, Need for Speed 2015 is going to kick it up another gear because they can't afford to do anything bad. This is going to be the make or break for Need for Speed, in my opinion, and I think if they do fuck up this time, it's going to be the end of Need for Speed, and it's going to be the end, well, not the end of Need for Speed, but it's definitely going to be a very, very, very bad factor for Ghost if they do fuck up. And as for the crew, guys at Ivory Tower, you know, it may seem like I'm being harsh, I'm doing this, but you have done a fucking amazing job. There's no other way of going around it. You have done an absolutely amazing job. There's some things which are flawed and broken in the game, and, you know, some things which are wrong, but, you know, IGN and GameSpot can suck on my dick, because this game is the best racing game we've had in fucking years, and that's coming straight from my mouth. You know, pardon my French. It's true. You know, for me, IGN and GameSpot just don't understand the core concepts of what the game's trying to commit to. Well done, Ivory Tower. Well done. I think I've had reason to trust in you, and I think you've done an absolute fucking amazing job. You know, just well done. Well done. And let's just look forward to Need for Speed 2015. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit like, subscribe. I will see you in tomorrow's Ask Hippo, and possibly stream, if you want to go follow my Twitch down in the description below, as well as my Twitter and all other social media links. If you want to donate to my PayPal, there is also a link down there as well to do that. And I will see you guys in the next video. Stay safe. Peace.